Yeah, yeah. This your boy Rocdastar chilling. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into a couple of things, a few things right now this morning. You know what I mean? I want to get into talking about the album. You feeling where I'm coming from? Now, the beginning of the Truest Movement album is a very special album because it entails 13 tracks, which stands for the floor I live on, and actually it also stands for Jesus and the 12 disciples, for those who don't know, and it also stands for the 13 colonies. You feel where I'm coming from? In America. So I don't forget the 13. That means that I'm I'm an American native. You understand where I'm coming from? But moving along. Now, if you really, for those who paid attention, they will understand that they will see and notice that True Light Energy only produced one track on that album. You feeling where I'm coming from? That is the one track that stands out from the rest of the whole album. Now, secondly, if you pay attention, Walking the Walk is a real low graded quality track that was on its deathbed because I almost lost it. I almost lost that song, and I had to pull it off a tape, and it was the only source of way of finding that song because the engineer lost the data to that song, Walking the Walk. Now, he lost that data on the train, on the F line, because he lived in Roosevelt Island. You feeling where I'm coming from? And that's Jay. Engineer Jay, that's what we call him. Now, Walking the Walk is the beloved song because it has low quality sound to it. You hear the glitches in it, and you can tell that it was pulled off of a tape. It was also actually the first beat that I ever made and released. You feeling where I'm coming from? On the album. You feeling where I'm coming from? That Walking the Walk was the first track that I ever recorded and produced solely by me in the studio. And how that track came about when one of my boys asked to do a song with one of his mans. And I took offense to that. And actually, I didn't take offense to it. But the song Walking the Walk was actually a counteract to that. You feel where I'm coming from? Because actually I took it as a diss because I'm standing there, it's my session, and this nigga had the audacity to ask me to do a song. Can he do a song with his boy from school without me being on it? But it's my studio time, my studio session. So that was how that song Walking the Walk got made. Now, Robert Willie is actually the best song you can ever listen to on that album. You know what? The Marcus is smart because I updated Robert Willie by extending the second verse and adding another verse on it. You know, so Robert Willie was actually the only one track on the album that was upgraded and updated recently right before its release. So in other words, I updated that song and upgraded that song actually months before the album was released. You understand where I'm coming from? So, you know, that track is grand. You getting where I'm coming from? So the Marcus is smart when they picked that to be a hit song because it is a really, really hot song. And it was really carefully anticipated by me. You feel where I'm coming from? And again, that song is a song that I produced, wrote, and performed, and also co-marketed. So there you have it. I mean, you got In Touch with Reality with True Light Energy, which expresses my life and how I felt about myself. That was why that song is a very, very special song. And for those who don't know that, now they know what In Touch with Reality was about. The sincerity of my life and how I was confused. I was a confused teenager, a confused young man who did not know what I wanted to do with myself, what I wanted to do with my time. You understand where I'm coming from? Really, you know, this album was recorded over a course of time, over a course of years. And in other words, I had another life set aside from recording. I wasn't really so much of a dedicated recording artist, but more so, I was more of a songwriter, a dedicated songwriter than recording artist, because I didn't have enough money to go and frequent in the studio as much as I wanted to. And getting caught up in the girls and getting caught up in the street life and my family issues and, you know, dealing with legal issues and stuff like that. And, you know, all of these things were boiled up in. Like I said, it's a lot of people that know me and it's cool with me. Even a lot of girls that I had sex with and had relationships with, they didn't even know that I rap. You getting where I'm coming from? They didn't know until that album released. So, anyway, this is to my fans and those who don't know. Excuse me, my bad. My eyes be watering, but I just finished coughing, so you know how it's like a sneeze. But yo, stay up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry that the second album is taking too long to release. You know, I haven't had enough time to resubmit the album yet, but I am gonna be submitting it because I have a lot of bills and I have a lot of my money is just tied crazy. But I am gonna be resubmitting that album, and so we can get on with the show. You understand where I'm coming from? Yes, I can release I Inspire Freedom of Speech, but I do not want to release it for marketing purposes yet, because I need Until We Rich to absorb first. Because if I release I Inspire Freedom of Speech first, before that, you're not gonna want to hear Until We Rich. So that's really was, it's a marketing strategy. But maybe I'll explain. I think I've already explained that earlier in a couple of videos, and for the wise, they already know what that meant. But Gutter, one thing I want to say about A. Gutter Snipes, for the world to understand that this album, every producer on it, this set aside from myself, he's responsible for. In other words, I would not have known True Light Energy if it wasn't for A. Gutter Snipes. I would not have known Diamond Cuts if it wasn't for A. Gutter Snipes. And I would not have known Huggies if it wasn't for A. Gutter Snipes. A. Gutter Snipes, he knows a lot of people, and he's a cool dude. He's cool to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And he's a really, really cool person to hang out with. He like to smoke weed, we chill, all the above. You know what I'm saying? So give it up for A. Gutter Snipes. But anyway, even the artists, Red Platinum, I would not have worked with if it wasn't for A. Gutter Snipes. Now Reality, I would not have worked with him. That's his cousin. If it wasn't for A. Gutter Snipes. So, you know how I play. A. Gutter Snipes and his case consists of everybody, every guest appearance, and every producer that's on there set aside for myself. Excuse me. I gotta get something to drink. But that's the way the cookie crumbled. One, rock the star. Till next time.